So in this video, I'm going to be explaining the lesson that I used to introduce my students to my westward expansion unit. So this lesson is called Digging for the Truth, the Mountain. So there are different types of lessons like these. A lot of them could be found on mrroten.com, so I'll put the link below. I'll also put the link to this specific lesson also in the description of the video. All right, so this lesson is basically on the Donner Party. So I decided to use the Donner Party as the introduction to this unit, not only because it's so interesting, but also because it basically gets students thinking about the whole idea of why people were willing to risk their lives and go through stuff like happened in the Donner Party just to go and move to the West. So it's a perfect little hook to get students into this unit, like I said. So prior to this, they have absolutely no information, or at least from me, about westward expansion, the gold rush, anything like that. The whole idea here is to use mystery as a way to get students hooked into this unit. So the only thing I basically tell them is that something weird and strange and horrible happened here in this mountain, and that we're going to be trying to find out what happened here. So as a real life historian, they're gonna be looking at different artifacts and literally trying to piece together this puzzle of the events that took place here. I use a video to introduce this lesson, which you can see here. After watching this, I go over the directions as how we're gonna go through and analyze these different artifacts. Right, so I'm gonna use sentence frames here just to get them to be able to think about these different artifacts and use some of that analysis. So for each one, they're gonna tell me what they think that thing is and what it tells them about what the people were doing here up in this mountain. So the first one is the wheel. So it kind of gets them thinking like, oh, okay, these are people that were probably traveling through here, right? The second one here is a daw. So it kind of gets them thinking like, well, in this harsh environment, why would there be kids here, right? But if there's a daw, there probably were kids. So it kind of adds to that whole mystery of what these people were doing here. Then you can see here this tablet that looks very strange, right? Some students even say, oh, maybe it was like aliens, or, you know, maybe it's people from another country. Was there like an invasion? Like it looks, this writing looks very, very weird. And, you know, maybe it was natives. So it kind of gets them thinking about who these people were, right? So, by the way, the correct answers to these are all in the notes section of the PowerPoint. So for this one, it's meant to show how they were up here for 4 months, for a long time, right? So the parents started teaching them, you know, how to write in German and in Irish, and basically continuing their education since they felt like they were going to be here for quite some time. Then, again, different things that were actually found here. So for example, they look at different things like these nails that were found near the fire, and it kind of gets them thinking again of the fact that these people were probably here for a long time and may have been stranded because of the fact that they were willing to destroy maybe their own wagon or their own houses that they had built. Then things start getting kind of dark when they find these animal bones that I tell them had, you know, they were too big to be human, and that they had some knife markings on them, which again adds to that whole idea that they were probably stranded up here. And then finally the big reveal at the end, which is this human skull with a hole on its head. And that obviously triggers in their mind like, oh my gosh, like, was there a murder up here? Was it a crazy person eating other humans? At the end, I finally asked the last time, what do you think happened in this place? So using all the different artifacts, basically create the story of what happened here. Just like a historian would, finding all these different artifacts and trying to figure out what actually happened here. And then of course, after sharing their answers, then I do the big reveal and tell a little bit of the story. So it's a little short lesson, again, using that inquiry-based learning, getting them to think, using artifacts, using analysis. It's a really nice little hook lesson for my westward expansion unit.